This is the AMDM, your quick morning podcast full of Memphis news. I'm Natalie Van Gundy. Today is Thursday, July 30th. It's been a rough week for FedEx employees. The Memphis-based shipping company is laying off nearly 150 employees at 2 facilities in the St. Louis area. That news follows layoffs of another 150 workers at 6 New York sites. All of the layoffs are part of FedEx's Network 2.0 plan to streamline package delivery across its networks. More than 100,000 people visited downtown for July 4th, according to new numbers from the Downtown Memphis Commission, and about 15,000 of them stuck around for the DMC's fireworks show at Tomley Park. The show made its return last year, but attendance was less than half that size. The DMC says the lower crime rate is probably helping, and even more money is about to be spent on public safety for the area. It's probably purely coincidence that salad shop Sheffy's is closing its Collierville store during salad's PR nightmare, but the shop's last day is Friday, and a local commercial real estate firm is wasting no time looking for what's next. The original High Point Terrace location isn't going anywhere, though. City, county, and health officials gathered Tuesday to cut the ribbon on what they say is desperately needed for local residents, a community health hub. Shelby Cares Raleigh will provide free health screenings in North Memphis. Services at the Raleigh Clinic include blood pressure screenings, diabetes prevention and management, and counseling for those at cardiovascular risk. Although services will be offered for free, providers will accept health insurance if patients have it. Hours for the clinic are 8:30 to 4:30 Monday through Thursday, 8:30 to 3:30 on Fridays at 3620 Austin P. Highway, Suite 2. And now it's time for a look at one of the week's biggest stories with Mary Casciola. But stay with us after that for more of the day's news.
In early 2024, after months of rumors, an exciting outdoor entertainment project was announced for Bartlett. It was called the Ramble on Summer, and it was patterned after Memphis Loflin Yard in Railgarten and was going to be located at 7157 US 70 at the site of the former Bartlett Nursery. Well, it's now mid-2026. The project hasn't opened, but it is moving forward with new investors. A related restaurant, which opened in the interim, has already been closed, and that closure may be permanent. I'm Mary Casciola. Joining us today is Suburbs reporter Michael Waddell to tell us all about it. Michael, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so let's talk about the Ramble on Summer. The project was recently before the Bartlett Planning Commission and it passed, but there was some question from commissioners about whether it should. It didn't pass with like flying colors. And I guess maybe we should say some background. The face of the Ramble project has been Mason Jambone, and he's been the face of it ever since the project was announced. But he's also the person behind the Ragin Cajun restaurant in Bartlett, and that opened about 2 years ago and has since closed, maybe permanently. So what can you tell us about the Planning Commission's concerns about the Ramble?
Ragin Cajun closed down in June. Bartlett Alderwoman Monique Williams, who also owns the 2 Biscuits and Jams restaurants in Bartlett and downtown, had planned to step in as executive chef last month to keep Ragin Cajun up and running while Jambone dealt with his ailing parents in Louisiana. But those plans didn't materialize for some reason. Williams or Jambone aren't commenting at this point, with Williams only saying that everything is on a pause right now.
Okay, so the Planning Commission was concerned about approving a new project from the same person that their former project is sort of in jeopardy. Is that right?
Yes, but they had no idea that Jambone is no longer associated with Ramble.
Oh, okay. So when it passed, they thought he was still associated with it. Okay. So you've been following this project since the beginning. Obviously, the Planning Commission was surprised. Were you surprised there was a new partner?
No, they're usually silent partners on bigger development projects. Analia and Everett Stevens became investors in Ramble in March of 2025.
Okay, so they've actually been investors for over a year now. They've been involved in the project. And it's just recently that they're sort of the main people. So what is going on with the Ramble now?
Well, the Stevens bought out Jambone last month. They're 100% owners of the project now. And with all of their city approvals in place, they're only waiting for approvals from the Tennessee Department of Transportation for right-of-way and road improvements, and they'll be able to start construction.
Awesome. Okay. So the Ramble in this particular instance, it's larger than just a Loflin Yard style restaurant?
I believe so. It's going to include 32 townhomes and also a second restaurant, Woody's Smokehouse, and more retail, possibly a bakery or coffee shop.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. And what's the sense of what will happen with Ragin Cajun? Like, obviously, it is not open right now. What do we think will happen?
No idea, really, at this point.
Yeah. Okay.
It seems like it could be closed for good. Alderman Jack Young, who's also the vice mayor, said that he had heard that it is closed for good, but Jambone would need to confirm that.
Sure. And he's in Louisiana dealing with family issues, so.
Yes, I believe. Not sure.
Right. He might not be in Louisiana. We don't know where he is right at this very moment. So full disclosure, we are not tracking any person, if that's what it sounded like. Thanks for the update. Thanks for being here.
No, thanks for having me. Thanks.
Thank you for listening. We'll be back with more news.
Barefoot Bride is returning to Cooper Young this August. Andy Ashby says the business is leasing a former Berkshire Hathaway office at 981 South Cooper Street.
Joelle Scholl started the by-appointment-only bridal boutique in a 500-square-foot space in the Midtown neighborhood in 2010. The boutique moved to East Memphis for 7 years, followed by 5 years downtown. After some flooding issues, it did a pop-up shop in the Saddle Creek Shopping Center before finding its latest location in Midtown. Scholl started the company as a small bridal consignment shop. Now it's one of the largest off-the-rack bridal boutiques in the country. For the Daily Memphian, I'm Andy Ashby.
A Utah-based development company has bought more than 20 acres of vacant land in Collierville, close to the Mike Rose Soccer Complex. Andy Ashby says the property on the town's western border could be developed into residential, commercial, or mixed use.
Mountain Seas Development bought the property on the southeast corner of Forest Hill Irene Road and East Shelby Drive for $900,000 from Charles and Elaine Moore. The company is known for acquiring and developing historic and residential properties, including the Durkin Boarding House in Park City. Collierville annexed the property in December 2011 and is currently zoned commercial. However, it's also part of a planned development overlay that could eventually allow for other uses. For the Daily Memphian, I'm Andy Ashby.
That's the AMDM for this Thursday, July 30th. I'm Natalie Van Gundy. Find links to all of the stories mentioned in this episode in the podcast description. Listen and subscribe to this podcast anywhere you get your podcasts or on the Daily Memphian's website. You can also hear us on WYXR 91.7, where our local news stories air every weekday throughout the day. And don't forget to subscribe to our other weekly podcasts hosted by your favorite reporters, including Soundbites, the Daily Memphian's Food and Dining podcast with Holly Whitfield, The Sidebar, the Daily Memphian's Arts and Culture podcast with Eric Barnes, and the Daily Memphian Grizzlies podcast with Drew Hill and Chris Harrington. You can also sign up for our breaking news alerts and our many weekly newsletters we offer by visiting dailymemphian.com/email. Thank you for joining us, and be sure to start your day here again tomorrow.